If you're just getting started with Peardeck, just note that you're going to begin in Google Slides. So notice here, I just have a Google Slides slide deck, brand new one open. And you'll want to go to Add-ons and then Get Add-ons. It'll take you to the add-on store, and you just want to look for Peardeck and install that into Google Slides. Once you have it installed and you then go to add-ons and Peardeck for Google Slides add-on, you can do Open Peardeck, and it will open up this window here to the side while you're working in a Google Slides presentation. So if I come over here and let's just say I want to create a new slide, and perhaps on this one I want to ask the students a question. Let's just do something simple. What is your favorite place? All right, so then we would come down here on the Peardeck window, and we would select the text option. So once I click on that, what's going to happen is my slide is then going to change into a text-based answer. So you'll see this pop up that it says it's adding an interactive question. It has instructions down here at the bottom. Students, write your response, and it says this is a Peardeck interactive slide. At this point, as a teacher, please make sure that you don't delete that part of the slide, because then it will not be interactive for your students. At this point, we just have a Google Slides presentation, or I'm sorry, a Google slide set up here. You can type anything into it. Example, beach, stores, whatever. You can type in there. You can add imagery, just like you would create a Google Slides slideshow. You can do all of that same stuff. The only difference is we now added this piece. All right, so we would continue adding additional slides. Notice that you have options for multiple choice, drawing. They can drag different things around on the screen, numbers. They can add a website. If you add a website, it's really nice because what it does is it pulls up that website for the students if they're navigating through their Peardeck presentation. So it goes ahead and pulls that right up for them. So I'll just do Stanley County Schools. All right. It gives us a little preview. Sure, that's what I wanted to see. So I do update slide. And then it will update that slide with that information. So you could put visit the website here. And you'll see what all this looks like for the students here in just a moment. We're going to add one more slide just for fun, and let's do the drawing slide so you can see what it looks like too. All right, so I clicked on draw. It's being added, and now it's popping that little piece down here at the bottom. We're going to say draw a picture of you. Okay, so then we have all that set up. So we've set up our presentation that we want the students to see. The next step is to actually share it with the students. So to do that, we'll come up here to the top and do Start Lesson. We don't do Present. Okay, when you're using Peardeck, you don't use the Google buttons, you use the Peardeck buttons. So I'm going to click on Start Lesson, and it's going to put this lesson together for me, and I have two options. I can do student-paced activity or instructor-paced activity. If you're live in front of the students, you would want to do the instructor-paced. You can do it virtually too, but typically we would do that live for sure. But the nice thing about the instructor-paced activity is if you're speaking while you're going through the slides, it will progress the slides at the same time for the students. So you would want to be teaching live and actively in order for the instructor-paced to be of benefit. If you are assigning a lesson to your students and you want them to just work at their own pace. Maybe one kid's working on this at 9 in the morning and another kid's working on it at 11. You can set this up and it's still interactive on their behalf. So I'm going to click for this example today, student-paced activity. And we're going to wait for them for Peardeck to create this slide presentation for the students. So once it's complete, you'll see that it's going to launch this and it's going to give us instructions of what we need to do. Sometimes it does take a second for it to get everything ready. But once it's ready, we have this session is in student-paced mode. And so they've gone ahead and opened a teacher dashboard for us, and they have created a link. So here's the link that we would need. You can just click copy link, but also notice down here they have tell students to go to joinpd.com and enter this code. So you could use that as well. Okay, so now in another window, I have the student presentation going. And if I come down here to the bottom, you'll see that I have the option to go through these 4 different slides. And I can answer my questions. Remember, here I am as a student, and it's telling me what to do. Here's my option. And then I can go to the next one. And then notice here, this is that website option where I put in the website as the teacher, but it automatically pops up here as the students, for the students on the right side of their screen, and I can navigate that website. So this is great if you just wanted them to look at something for maybe to read an article or something along those lines. They have that option. And then I'll go to my last one, and this is the one where we are drawing. So now I have the abilities to draw a picture, change the colors, whatever. All right. And then once I'm finished, I can just click out of this, and notice that it does have that I've checked off these slides that needed something to do. So if I needed to go back through and make sure that I had done everything, that's a good way to check on that. Now we'll flip back over to our other screen. And the last thing that I want to mention is going to the teacher dashboard. So I can click on this, and it's going to show me the slides that I have in my presentation. Up at the top right, it's going to show me the students I have, and I can click to open the roster to see the names. But then I can also, as I click on these these slides, I can see which students have participated. And if I scroll, I only have one student at this point, but if I were to scroll through them, I would see them all on here of what they drew and what their answers were as well. So it's pretty simple to get this started and very easy for the students to be able to access your presentation once you've created it. A couple things I do want to mention is when you're on the creation screen here, you do have an option under these 3 lines to require students to log in. So they'll have to log in with their email if you have that toggled on. That's a good way to make sure that their names are populating and you know exactly which student was logged into your presentations too. And then you have an option here to review the sessions, so you can look back at that information that you've done for this particular presentation.